Hello everyone and welcome to FTB Interactions Remastered, episode 27. Today, there are some lines that need our attention. I was just having a quick look at what the Infinity Egg actually would get us total, not just the neutronium, and it gives us liquid red matter, which is used to make the 0-point matrix, and liquid draconium, which is very nice. The Wither Draconic Soul, which would sort out nether stars. Liquid Molten Infinity, which can be used to make the Infinity Armor, which is nice. You can centrifuge it to get nether star dust, as well as some dimensional shards and other Infinity chicken. In the Crucible, it makes us Awakened Draconium, and an Infernal Deconglomerator, which I think shouldn't be too difficult to make. No, that looks fairly easy. It gives us enriched Naquadah, uranium, plutonium, indium, osmiridium, and tungsten. So it's a little bit kind of very overpowered. Now, if you look at the key, nearly everything in this recipe is basically Infinity Eggs. Chaotic Core, that's just Infinity Eggs. We've got the shards anyway. We can obviously kill another Chaos Dragon. So that's just Awakened Draconium from the eggs. Wyvern Cores, which that's LUV circuits, but it's Draconium from the eggs. This is easy enough to make. We have Neutronium Blocks. That's the egg, this is the egg, this is the egg. This isn't the egg, but it's really not that bad. That's four things we need. Molten Crystalline Alloy is fine, this is fine, and then it's just the UHV circuit, which I guess that's probably one of the hardest bits. But that's it. Once we get the Infinity Egg, we're almost there, actually, really, sort of, maybe. Okay, it's time to make some more LUV circuits. There we go. For the extra should just be that, and it'll take a little bit of time, but we should get ourselves 2 LUV circuits, which means I will finally be able to make ourselves IV circuit assembler. How long have I been saying that we need to do that? Quite a while, I think. And now, 1 IV circuit assembler. Let's go plug it in. And plug. We now have an elite circuit assembler. So now recipes are a little easier, a little better. We should be able to make better circuits. We should be able to make this EV circuit, which is the best EV circuit. And then we can make these IV ones, which aren't as good. I assume to make the best IV circuit. This one? Yeah, we need an LUV circuit assembler and something else. So that's a little bit of a way off, but we should now be able to make green LUV circuits. So I'm going to spend some time, just for now, batch crafting these. I wonder if we can make these advanced SMDs now, because that would be very nice. Well, it's actually so good that I've made the extreme circuit boards on passive. That will make life easier. I can sort of make these. We need to do polybenzimidazole properly in large chemical reactors ASAP. That would be very useful. It also gives us phenol. So yeah, I think we need to do that properly. Set that up efficiently and properly very, very soon, if not now. That's the main goal. It's an IV tier recipe, so it's a little bit of a pain, but it's fine. We need to do that to be able to get these. But again, like I said, I'm just going to try and batch a bunch of these. I think that'll do us for now. To make the EV circuits, I am going to need some nano CPU wafers, and I need to turn them into Quibbit CPU wafers, which allow us to cut it to get our Quibbit CPU. I actually need a few more, but we also need liquid gallium arsenide, which can only be made in, what is this, an alloy blast smelter. Good thing we have one of those, and I know how to look for it. This has got argon in at the moment, hasn't it? Yes. Is it coming in through a pipe, or did I just put it in? I just put it in. Well, let's put nitrogen in for now. Well, we need nitrogen. Luckily for me, this is pretty fast, and we're making liquid gallium arsenide. Lovely. Okay, so we have 1 advanced chemical reactor, some more quantum eyes, and some nano CPU wafers, and in 45 seconds times 32, we will have our Quibbit CPU wafers. Wow, that's going to be a little slow. That's alright, sort of. Also, I have reset up our Ender IO farming station with an Ender tank and an energy converter, and it doesn't ever quite have enough power. Probably because that's only converting 1 amp of HV. That's fine, it doesn't really matter as long as it's cutting the trees down, because we were running out of wood with the old system. Things kept getting blocked. Now I know that I could probably make stuff better without the pyrolyze oven, but I just can't be bothered to change it. So yes, we've still got all of these running. This is also, yeah, like we said before, this is still making toluene. So, ooh, I thought that was on a wonk. It's not. We're still getting toluene from here, so we've got about 400,000 buckets. Should we check on our toluene setup? I think it's fun to check on our toluene setup. Where is it? Over here. We have, 179,000. So actually, we're almost at 1 million. Sort of, and we only need 6 million. So I think we'll have enough toluene in not like a great deal of time, which is nice. While I've been waiting for the cutting to occur, I have been planning a lot of planning. Okay, so we need polybenzimidazole. Oh, let's try and say it. Liquid polybenzimidazole. Bendamidazole? Okay, it's not too hard. PBI, we need this. And it's complicated, and I think we have made it once before, but not properly. So we are just doing a full setup for this, and here we go. So there's 2 chains really that we need to follow. One to make diphenyl isophthalate, and one to make 3,3-diaminobenzidine. So first one is the first thing I said, diphenyl isophthalate. So we are going to collect nether air from the nether, obviously. Where else do you get nether air? And we will vacuum freeze it over here, nether air. And then once we have that, we will distill it to get coal gas. The coal gas will be distilled into coal tar, and the coal tar will be distilled into naphthalene. Ooh, exciting. The naphthalene will be mixed with sulfuric acid and potassium to get phthalic acid. I didn't actually look at potassium as an easy way to get it. I thought I'd just have some electrolyzed biotite and rock salt and saltpeter and okay, and lipidolite. Okay, we've got lots of lipidolite, so that should be fine, really. That's just the thing to do. And then once we have the phthalic acid, I know I've spelt it wrong, we will mix it with phenol, which we're already making, and the sulfuric acid to get diphenyl iso, etc. So that's step 1. Step 2 wouldn't fit in one line. So, oh, by the way, this is because of the chunk borders. That's why these ones are at the front and these ones are further back, because I was bad at building, but that's fine. So we have, to begin with, chlorine plus benzene to make chlorobenzene, which I feel like we are making, but I don't care, we're just going to do it again. Then we have sulfuric acid plus nitric acid, both of which, well, yeah, we're making both to make nitration mixture. I am also going to just make some more sulfuric acid. It's just sulfur and water. We do have our little system over there somewhere, but that's complicated and uses small things. And this just sounds easier, and we need a lot of sulfuric acid for this whole process. We might as well get plenty. Then after we have both of them, they get mixed together, nitration plus chlorobenzene. Yes, this is just what we made. And we get 2-nitrochlorobenzene. These are in the wrong order because I did this one first and then I remembered to do this one, and I couldn't be bothered to change the signs. So with our 2-nitrochlorobenzene or benzidine or whatever it is, we then mix that with some copper and some hydrogen to get 3,3-dichlorobenzidine. Perfect. Now we must come round the corner because I ran out of space. And here we are round the corner, and we have another chemical reactor, which is zinc, ammonia, gas, and 3,3-dichloro whatever we're making to make 3,3-diaminobenzidine, which is then mixed with our diphenyl whatever that we made before, and we'll have our PBI, our polybenzimidazole. Ammonia we don't actually have to make because when we distill coal tar, where is coal tar? If we distill this, not coal tar, when we distill coal gas, we get 300 milliliters of ammonia gas, which is what we need. We also get ethyl benzene and carbon dioxide, which I don't really know what ethyl benzene does. We can get styrene, and we get, oh, that gives us carbon, or styrene butadiene rubber. That's something we'll need, isn't it? Styrene butadiene. Do we have butadiene? I think we do have butadiene. Okay, so actually this process will also mean we can make styrene butadiene. I like butadiene. That's a good word. I like it. So yeah, so only a couple distillation towers and chemical reactors that we need to make. You know, it won't take us yonks, but that's okay. It's nice to have projects, and this is necessary. And it's nice to do things properly sometimes. It appears I'm out of tantalite, so I'm off to do some mining. And after all that messing around, we now have everything to make quite a few EV circuits. So let's go and do that. Ta-da! Here we go. I actually put it in the wrong one to start with, which is funny. And there we go. Is that a quest? Is that not a quest? Maybe I got some for a reward before, and it's just like, you've made these. Where is it? Circuitry. Yes, it already thinks I've made them. How very depressing and sad. That's okay. Look at all these circuits that we've made. Look how far we've come. We're getting there. We are progressing. So, yeah, this isn't actually that slow. 10 seconds, not too bad. Another while later, I've got everything to make ourselves 2 stacks of quantum processor assemblies, so that's nice. Not quite enough circuit boards, but that's fine. We can just start these off while we're waiting for the rest of them to craft. And this should be a quest. Yeah, so that means we get 4 extras for fun. Woohoo! I don't know why Have I not made an LUV machine hull? Oh, obviously not. Rhodium plated palladium. Well, I haven't done that. Rhodium's actually fairly easy. We need to make rhodium sulfate, which is just inert metal mixture and sulfuric acid in a chemical reactor. We also get ruthenium tetroxide, which we can get ruthenium out of, which I think we're getting from a chicken. Feel as though we have ruthenium. What's it even do? I have absolutely no idea. I feel like we have loads of ruthenium though. Or was it vintium? Maybe we have lots of vintium. Okay, but we get ruthenium from this as well. I guess this is the plat line. This will give us silicon dioxide and gold, and then we have the other sort of outputs, but we get a fair bit of inert metal mixture. And we also get palladium powder, which you can just chemically react with hydrochloric acid, get actual palladium. So yeah, that's all good. Oh, and this has got the osmirium in and stuff. We are already making aqua regia. This doesn't have an auto input, which is a bit silly of me, but that's fine, whatever. Yeah, and this platinum group sludge is the nitric acid plus chalcopyrite tetrahedrite, etc, etc. I don't know how much of this we have. We weren't making it over here. I can't remember if it's even over here or not. Did I actually set this up? I cannot remember. Hatch. No. Yes, I did. Oh, well done me. Big brain. Smart. Okay. We will be able to get rhodium plated palladium. It might be good just to have that to, or also I set up the sulfuric acid like this. Am I out of sulfur? No, it's just slow. Yeah, I set this up for the sulfuric acid because we ran out. What was I saying? Can't remember. Blah, blah, blah. Lucky what I have. 32 LUV tier circuits. And lucky what else I've done. While I was waiting. Oh ho ho. Let's go over here and let's see what I have. It is polybenzimidazole. We did it. We have it. 30 buckets of it already, which is quite a lot actually. All the chemical reactors, all the distillation towers. It has been complete. Yes, I did it off camera. Yes, I thought there was a chemical reactor there and there wasn't, but we've done it. And no, it's not fully automated because there's item inputs and that's much harder for me to do than fluids. But basically we have some nether air coming, being vacuum frozen into liquid nether air, which goes into a distillation tower, which takes a good long time. That produces many, many things. I'm sure some of these will end up being useful, especially the sulfur dioxide gas. I assume that can be turned into sulfur and oxygen. That sounds good to me. Anyway, we get coal gas, which is distilled. So we get coal tar. Also, we get ammonia gas, which is useful. The coal tar goes into another distillation tower. This one much faster. This one produces naphthalene as well as some other things, including phenol, which is also useful. Naphthalene goes into a chemical reactor with some sulfuric acid to produce us phthalic acid and hydrogen sulfide gas. The phthalic acid goes into another chemical reactor with phenol and sulfuric acid again to give us something secret undiluted sulfuric acid, diphenyl isophthalate, which I have not put in the lock, which is a bit silly. Whatever, I'm sure it won't matter. We'll come back to that later. Side 2, we have a mix of chlorine and benzene to get us hydrochloric acid and chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene will go over here. But later, we'll leave that. We are also mixing sulfuric acid with nitric acid. This gets us nitration mixture. Slowly. This could be a multi-block mixer. It's not, because it's expensive to make a multi-block mixer, so it gets its own private little space. Lucky you, mixer. Then we have the sulfuric acid thing I showed before, and we have this large chemical reactor which mixes chlorobenzene and nitration mixer to get 2 nitrochlorobenzene and diluted sulfuric acid. The diluted sulfuric acid goes in, well, no, the diluted sulfuric acid does nothing, but the 2 nitrochlorobenzene goes into another chemical reactor with hydrogen and copper, and it gets cooked into 3,3-dichlorobenzidine. And now we go over to this side, and this side we have another chemical reactor which mixes ammonia gas, dichlorobenzidine and zinc, and it produces us 3,3-diaminobenzidine and hydrochloric acid. Woohoo, so much hydrochloric acid, delicious. And then finally, the final step is we mix things that I can't see, diphenyl isophthalate and 3,3-aminobenzidine or whatever, this one, and we get phenol and liquid polybenzimidazole. We did it. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. We've done it. PBI, all while making some LUV circuits for myself. Whew. If that's not me being the queen of multitasking and making an absolutely ginormous mess, I don't know what else I can say. I've just had a quick flick through the assembly line recipes, and we shouldn't need an assembly line more than 30. I know maybe we'll make several, blah blah blah. I'm going to make one and scuff it up and just batchcraft. Maybe, we'll see, so this is our assembly line. Beautiful. So not only is the assembly line controller kind of expensive, we also need a data access hatch, which is, that's fine. It costs a few IV circuits, we've just made a bunch. That's fine. We also need some LV, some output buses, that's fine. Great machine casing, that's fine. Laminated glass is fine. Now, solid steel machine casing, fine. That's literally just steel. Here is the bad bit. We need assembly control casing and assembly line casing. So if we want to go for a 13, we'll need 14 of each of these. Why is this bad? Well, let's look at their recipe. Oh yes, 4 LUV circuits per 2. That's a lot. That's a lot. HPIC, IV emitters, motors and sensors. And the assembly line casing, which is fine, apart, well, that's kind of expensive. The Viridit. I don't think we have Viridit. Viridit. Stupid name. That's iridium and ruthenium. Do we have ruthenium? No, but we are going to need ruthenium very soon. Let me just oh, I've made a large chemical reactor by accident. Whoops. Let me just check this is the Vintium chicken. Oh, this all exploded, by the way. Vintium, Manasteel, and Ret. I forgot I had Manasteel dust. Okay, so, we're still kind of a long way off. We can almost get the controller. This is expensive, but you know what? It'll be fine. We'll get there. And we can also make our ZPM circuits now. These ones, we can make these. It's only IV. We have all of this stuff. We only need 2 so that we can make ourselves the assembly line, but we'll also need some assembly control things. So we'll need at least 4 more plus the 14. So we'll need 18. So that's 9 times 4, which is 36. 36 LUV circuits. And how many did I just make? I just made 32. Plus we need some for the ZPM circuits. So expensive. Okay, we only need 4 more LUV circuits because the casing, this casing requires, well, doesn't require, uses the these ones, these sucky ones, which these ZPM circuits don't like. So that's fine. We need to get 1. So yeah, we need 4 more. We need to make the ZPM circuit. So let's just see how it goes. Okay, so this should be everything to make our ZPM circuits. Well, we only need 2. We're not going to get a quest for these because we haven't made LUV or ZPM machine blocks. That's fine, whatever. We will get there very shortly because we'll need to get the Viridit. So fun to say, Viridit. Iridium we have. It's just ruthenium, which I assume is from, where is it? Oh, ruthenium tetroxide. Yes, that's the inert metal mixture thingy. Woohoo! And ZPM circuit. Woohoo! I've made a few of the steel things, but now let's make ourselves the data input hatch, data access hatch. This thing. Also, are we not going to need the other machine that reads the data sticks? I don't really understand. And because it's good to be prepared, let's make ourselves an... No, I didn't realize that was LUV circuits. I don't want to use them. No. Let's try that again. EV scanner. That'll do for now. We're not going to go too over ambitious, and let's plug it into our EV wall. Plug. There we go. So now we can scan things when we need to, I suppose. Ooh, this should be 18. Yes, 18 assembly control casing. Can I make this yet? Maybe. Yes. Here we go. 1 assembly line controller. Woohoo! We did it. Yay! And that can go in the place where everything else goes. So now we just need this one, the assembly line key, and also the input and output hatches and all that nonsense. That's fine. And here's a little ruthenium setup, which is probably very bad. So I've just been putting in, oh, we don't have any demonstrate. Let me grab some to demonstrate our inert metally stuff. We're cooking more up. The inert metal mixture goes into this chemical reactor with some sulfuric acid. It cooks. We get ruthenium tetroxide, which we put in here. We get carbon dioxide from this, which needs another super tank. I'll go grab one. And ruthenium. I guess, actually, can I recycle this? If I electrolyze it, I get a carbon back. That would be quite useful. I'll go get another electrolyzer then. And then the... Why? Where are you getting the hydrogen from? The hydrogen should only fluid... Hydrogen shouldn't be going out of this direction. That's annoying. Let me just extract only hydrogen. Maybe that'll fix it, hopefully. Oh wait, no. Blacklist. Oh no, whitelist. No, we're good. I wasn't extracting hydrogen. It was... Okay, I think it's fine. I think, yes, we're getting it. We're good now. But now we're getting rhodium as well, so we can make rhodium plated palladium. And I'll just get another electrolyzer. Fun fact, this is completely carbon neutral. So yeah, all the carbon that we use to make the ruthenium can be recycled via the carbon dioxide, and we get some oxygen back. So yeah, that's nice. And we have ruthenium, which is what we needed for viridit. How much viridit do we need? We need 2 gears per 2, so we need 14 gears, and each gear is 8, so we need 8 times 14, which is almost a stack. I'm so dumb. What do I mean almost a stack? It's 112. Okay, we'll divide that by 3 and we get a number that doesn't like 3. Okay, 114 divides by 3 though, so that's 38. Let's do 13 iridium and 26 ruthenium. Mix. I make an IV mixer. Mix. And while I wait for the viridit to cook, let's put some rhodium and some palladium in the mixer, which will get us rhodium plated palladium, which is what we need. I've got loads of palladium. I don't quite remember where I got it from. Oh, there's some more rhodium there. It's like a bunch of rhodium and a bunch of palladium and 1 rhodium or something. Yeah, 3 to 1. That's pretty good ratio, because I've got more palladium than rhodium and it's easier to get. Bidding. Right, we have 4 viridits. This is going to take a little while. I'm just looking at the LUV component recipes. These suck. What do you mean I need 7 circuits of 3 different tiers to make a robot arm? Why? And more motors. The motors are horrific. We are probably going to have to find a way to automate this, and I'll have to give up. Am I holding off? Thinking, what if this requires me to have anything LUV? Well, we need 2 IV energy things, but I've already got them. I made them, so that's fine. I think we can ignore the LUV machine things until we've made the infinity chicken, because unless we need an LUV. No, that's LV. Nope, I think we're fine. I just don't like the look of this. This is an easy. See, this is fine. It's a one-time thing. There's no silly things. You can make everything here pretty much. So once I've set up the assembly line, we'll work straight on the chicken. I'm ignoring the other stuff. We're so close to actually being able to make this thing. I've absolutely no idea where to put it either. I don't know if I mentioned, I actually hate this piece. I get lost in it all the time. I can't find anything in it, and it's unfinished and messy. Does that mean it's all right? But like, I want it to be neat and tidy. Look at this. Look at the wiring. Have you ever seen such spaghetti? So yeah, I'm not entirely sure where we're going to put this assembly line, because it's long. Maybe over here. I mean, this is probably the longest we've got left. So maybe it'll go over there, and then we've got space for another one over here if we needed a 2, which we might. There's the is that a big one or a small one? Small one. Okay, well, not there then. Whoa, I think we're lagging because I made an Ender IO farm. So yeah, we're also kind of getting, well, at least we're using the whole base. Like, we're getting into this space, but like, I don't know. It's not my favourite base, and it's hard for me to want to finish it and make it look nice, but it's alright. It's different. It's funny, you can make the turbine assembly line casing in any assembly machine from LV upwards. Sod, I was expecting it to be an IV recipe, but there we go. Assembly line casing. I think that's everything. Ta-da! 1. Assembly line. No, I haven't hooked it up to power yet. I don't care. We've got 2 IV energy hatches up here, which we'll connect shortly. So yeah, actually, I don't know if, no, I can't. Oh wait, I can put the input hatches. I thought I had to put them underneath. Hence the, oh well, maybe we'll just have them underneath for fun and we can have it floating like a silly machine that floats. It's stuck to the ceiling, it's hanging. If you poke it, it actually swings. You just can't see it because of Minecraft's limitations. That's all. But yeah, you want an assembly line. So now I guess it's chicken working on time. Let's prepare for the infinity chicken as best we can, and let's start with the easiest thing, I would say first, which is the stem cells, which is just some eggs, some sugar, some soy milk, and some infinity reagents. We just need 8 of these, so that shouldn't be too hard. Firstly, we are going to centrifuge some soybeans, which I actually already had somehow. I don't know when I grew soybeans, but obviously I did. We are then going to put our silken tofu back into the centrifuge. We've also got some grain bait, which we don't really need anymore. And we get normal soy milk and also some firm tofu, which we can use as an alternative to meat if we wanted. Oh, I must have grown these for the cellular blocks when we were doing that. And because I haven't set up the witch thing yet, we are just, whoops, Stop. You're going to get sugar the old-fashioned way with a mortar and pestle. Thank you, Roots. And now if we take our mixer, ignore that it's got lots of water in, and add everything. If we wait a little while, we should get all the stem cells that we need. While I am waiting for that, I'm going to centrifuge some vitrified sand so that we get our demon will clusters. I don't know what this does. This gives us... oh, 0% chance of nether star dust. Don't mind if I do. And there are our 8 stem cells. And while I was doing that, or waiting for that, I've just fixed this little setup. So the problem was this was not really making any aquaresia. I don't know what I was doing before to make aquaresia, but it wasn't in here. So of course we're making nitric acid and hydrochloric acid elsewhere. We don't actually need the setup to make nitric acid here. So instead, I've just put a mixer in instead of a chemical reactor. So we're making aquaresia and we are actually processing things now, which is much better. Obviously we need to probably... I think actually I've got the platinum group. No, maybe not. But that should be easy enough for us to sort out. So yeah, there we go. Slightly better. Really don't know what I was doing before with this setup, but we love large chemical reactors making nitric acid instead. Next up, 16, I was just double checking, 16 crystal clusters, which are very easy to make. Now we have access to all the wills. We've actually got quite a few things already, so that's nice. Also, I forgot we've got our assembly line trophy. Here? Yay, assembly line. I also just got a trophy for making the crystal clusters. I don't know why. Okay, we need nether stars, so I'm just testing to see if I can automate the wither killing thing a little bit. So we have our wither builder here. I have a glowing hourglass. I don't know how often we should build a wither. Maybe just every 30 seconds. Let's start with a minute just to see. I don't want too many spawning at once. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a minute for this to activate the first time and check it works. So bear with. Okay, we're getting there. Here we go. I hope nothing happened. Right, I guess I need a piece of redstone connecting these. Oh, I put the redstone away. Okay, I put one in just to set it off, and it does spawn the wither now. That's good. Okay, and it kills the wither. I've got an item collector down here as well, so it should collect everything. We might, I think, will a minute be enough? I don't know, but this should at least automate the wither killing. I don't have enough soul sand in there. I'm making more skulls. We need 2 stacks and 16 nether stars to be able to make enough crystal matrix. We'll need a lot of star metal and infused diamonds. Dimensional shards are fine. We can just mine them in the nether. They are literally everywhere, so that shouldn't be an issue. How long is this going to take? I think we are going to need more than a minute. I would say maybe 2 minutes. Can I put 2 minutes in a hourglass? I'm unsure actually. I mean, technically it can deal with more than one at a time, so it shouldn't be that big an issue. Let's put as 64 in there. So it should be alright really if we have more than one with the spawn at once. Just maybe a lag thing. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, I guess this is the best way to do it. I don't think I can upgrade his violence level. Damage. I don't know if I can enchant him with sharpness, but I don't think so. So this should be fine. And ta-da, our first wither nether star from our new contraption. So I'll go get a bunch of soul sand, continue making skulls, and fill this up so we can go do other things while this runs. Okay, I've switched to a RF Tools timer because it pulses the hovering hourglass, and it doesn't like fill up the work energy buffer enough, which is setting this up. That's why we've got 4 withers spawned above me. But yes, this seems to be the best way to do it because it pulses long enough for this to actually spawn a wither, which is good. It's on 1800 ticks, which is about 90 seconds. Hopefully that's enough. It should be fine, really. So yeah, that's way better. Never mind, it stopped doing what I wanted it to. Don't understand. This is all very confusing. Okay, now it's not doing... Every time I do anything, this just stops working. Just spawn withers for me, please. That's all I need you to do. Did that even... Yeah, that's not even... Oh, it's being dumb. 10. Okay, it's really struggling with the redstone. Active without signal, always active. I don't really understand. Whoops, run away. While I was in Aurelia before trying to find my neutronium nuggets, I was lucky enough to find a shape card for a quarry, which is going to help us with our dimensional shards. I think I want a silk one, and then I fortune it. I think that sounds like a good idea. Do I have... Yeah, I've got Fortune 5 on this, so I think that's a good idea. So yeah, so I want to get a silk, no, that's just a normal one. I want a silk quarry card, this one, which is a Thorncraft recipe. We need 2 silk touch books. Can I make an arcane inscorsolator? Apparently not, so I'm going to have to do some, unless I have some silk touch in here, don't know. Well, I'll do some book enchanting, see if we can find a nice couple silk touches. We've got 1 silk touch book so far, pretty good. And after a lot of enchanting, I did manage to get 2 silk touch books. Woohoo! 22 stars so far. Okay, that should be everything that we need for this, and hopefully we can have our nice silk touch quarry card. Ta-da! 1 silk quarry. Okay, well, I need to mine first before we can, it's going to be slow. I've just stuck 3, let's do a 4th one on the bottom. I got some spectre coils that generate power just automatically from dungeons. Okay, this is not quite enough to power a quarry, I admit. But hopefully I'll get a nice dimensional shard with the silk touch, and then we can actually filter. I can actually see one down there, but I don't have silk touch, which is a little annoying. I managed to get 1. We are now filtering for dimensional shards, so this should be a lot more efficient. And also we're gaining power now as well, which is very nice. No highlighting. I don't know, so maybe it stops doing that. But there we go. We are gaining power, which is lovely, and we are only mining dimensional shard. Woohoo! I'm just curious how much we get with the hammer. Yeah, 24. Not bad. There's almost like 8 per. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm not sure how much we get. Okay, the ore. Do we get another one? That would just be easier. No. Dimension. I didn't know if the ore gets processed. No, you have to break it. Okay, well, 8 per is pretty good. So I guess we just leave this running and hopefully get a few more ores. Seeing as this, I found loads of them before, but I might as well just mine this one by hand, actually, these 2. I can't imagine it being too bad. Oh, we didn't get very many from those. Interesting. I was a little concerned that we wouldn't have enough star metal, but actually, because we only need the screws, we need quite a lot of screws, but it's only like a stack and 2 stacks and 16 actual star metal, because you get 8 per. It's quite good, actually. Issue discovered. Oh no, wait, I destroyed the smiley face. I just realized. Anyway, issue. It's draconium. Woohoo, we can't make this yet. I didn't really think I could make it yet, but we definitely can't make it yet because we need draconium. And actually I didn't really realize, but draconium is a trinium level recipe. While we only need MV power, we need very hot coils. This is trinium. We need enriched Naquadah foil, liquid Naquadah, and trinium wire, which is all ZPM. We're not really in ZPM, and by that I mean we're not really in LUV, to be quite honest. How do we make trinium? Is it like one of those fusion ones? Naquadah, I think, oh, I don't know actually. Aha! It is trinium sulfide and zinc with Naquadah level coils, and an LUV thingy, which you don't have either. Joyous joys. And how does one get this? Centrifuging impure Naquadah solution, which is Naquadah dust, which we do have, and fluoroantimonic acid, which is antimony trifluoride and hydrofluoric acid. We do in fact have hydrofluoric acid. What is this? Antimony trioxide plus hydrofluoric acid. Antimony, stibnite, and oxygen in a blast furnace. Interesting. Okay, I've been looking. This antimony trifluoride is entirely recyclable. If we get 4 makes 1,000 liters, or let's just say a bucket. So 4 makes 1 bucket. 1 bucket makes 2 buckets of impure enriched Naquadah and impure Naquadria. So we get 4 buckets of that. This one, when centrifuged, gives you 2 back, and this one centrifuged gives you 2 back. So really, all we're using is Naquadah. So we just need a loop for whatever acid. This. I just need to make a bit of this to begin with, which is just antimony and hydrofluoric acid. So I guess we'll make a little bit of this. We don't need very much. Stibnite and oxygen. I don't even know if I have stibnite, so we'll see. Thing is, though, we need Naquadah coils, which means we need an LUV assembler, which I haven't clicked on this yet. LUV circuits, niobium titanium cable, and assembly line stuff. Boo, hiss. Goodness gracious. Working hard? Or hardly working, you may be asking yourself. I don't see why. Most people's brains doesn't have that on repeat from The Simpsons. But mine does, and I have been, in fact, working hard on my little, tiny, scuffed plotline setup. Ta-da! It's here. Let's go through it. So part 1, the ore processing. Charcoal pyrite goes in the little box that says ore, because you can have others, but probably we'll just go for charcoal pyrite. It is macerated, it is washed. I also get a bit of pyrite and a bit of stone dust as extra. We wash. Once washed, it goes into a chemical reactor with nitric acid, and then we get platinum group sludge, which goes into an advanced centrifuge with some aqua regia, which we're already making, and produces 5 outputs. And just to remind us all the 5 outputs, we get raw platinum powder, raw palladium powder, inert metal mixture, rarest metal mixture, and platinum sludge residue. If you start with the platinum metallic powder, that one's really easy. All we have to do is put it in an advanced electrolyzer. We get a bit of chlorine, which is being used elsewhere, and some platinum dust. Palladium powder is also really easy. You just mix it with hydrochloric acid and you get palladium. You also get some ammonia stuff, ammonium chloride, ammonium sulfide, ammonium something or other, and basically this stuff, ammonium chloride, if we put that in an electrolyzer, we get some ammonia gas, which we use for PBI, and some hydrochloric acid, which is always useful to have in loads of different places. Next up, we have our inert metal mixture, and the first of the 2 most complicated ones. We have gone through this before, but let's just do it again. We chemically react it with some sulfuric acid, and we get 3 outputs: hydrogen, a liquid, and a not liquid, a solid, ruthenium tetroxide, and rhodium sulfate. The ruthenium tetroxide goes into the advanced chemical reactor with some carbon. That produces us ruthenium, but also, as before, we are recycling the carbon dioxide it produces to give us oxygen and carbon, so this carbon will never deplete, which is very nice. And the rhodium sulfate will go into an advanced electrolyzer. Once we have enough of it, it will electrolyze and we'll get rhodium dust, which is just stored, oxygen, which gets stored somewhere else, and sulfur trioxide, which we electrolyze for more oxygen back, and some sulfur, because we always need sulfur. Platinum sludge residue is also very easy. Once we have 5, we can just centrifuge it for silicon dioxide dust and some gold dust, and then I'm just sending that back to the system. And finally, the rarest metal mixture, which we did go over sort of briefly before when we were making some osmiridium to get to Aurelia. Once we have some in the system, it will go into this lovely chemical reactor, which is all hooked up uglily round here. So that has hydrochloric acid in, and once we get enough rarest metal mixture, we need 7, we will get some iridium metal residue, some acidic osmium solution, and some hydrogen. The iridium dust stuff goes into a centrifuge, which when we do that, we get iridium chloride and platinum sludge. This just goes back into this centrifuge, whatever it is. Is it a centrifuge? Yes, to be recycled. And the other stuff goes into here with hydrogen, which gets us iridium dust and probably something else as well, which I can't think of. This is very hard to remember. Yes, we also get some more hydrochloric acid, which is always nice. And the acidic osmium solution goes into an advanced distillery on circuit 1, which produces us the osmium stuff and also hydrochloric acid. I chose that because, let's have a look, the other one is water, so why would I get water and I could get hydrochloric acid? And there's no point building a distillation tower to get extra water when I don't care. It might be, but I don't think it would even really be that much faster. No, it's slower, 20 seconds. Okay, it's a tiny bit faster, but it doesn't really matter. And then we get osmium tetroxide. This goes in a chemical reactor with some more hydrogen, and we get osmium and also some more hydrogen, which is recycled. Oh no, we get water. Water goes in the bin. We don't care. So yay, plotline. I think it must be much harder in GTNH. This wasn't too bad. Everything's an EV machine. I don't like that you can only see these after they have more than a stack in, but hopefully we'll see everything soon, though we are kind of, all the fluids we're making are used elsewhere. We have ruthenium, we have rhodium for rhodium plated palladium, we have palladium for rhodium plated palladium, we have ruthenium, and the other thing that's used for rhodite, iridium. So actually this whole process makes us rhodite and rhodium plated palladium, which is pretty nice. So now really the main things that we need for LUV that we don't really have are HSSS, which is osmium, which we get from this, and iridium, which we get from this, and HSSG, which is just some other stuff which I can just put on passive probably, and samarium, but we actually are making samarium because we just get it from centrifuging rare earth. Ta-da! Isn't life simple? Can I get tiny from anything? No. Okay, so it's not actually too difficult. We have sorted out a lot of the resources. It's slow because everything's slow. Probably would be easier, but I mean this is slow anyway, so there's no point speeding these up too much. And yeah, we just got a bunch of charcoal pyrite. There's more charcoal pyrite in here. This is a singular vein. This will last us a good while, and we can also use this if I can ever be bothered to. Well, we can make vintium, but we don't need vintium. We can put it in an electrolyzer and we get copper and sulfuric acid back. I probably should do that. That sounds like like a good idea, but this is already a mess, so I'll do it later. And with that, I think this is a good place to end today's episode, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.